Right then, so being stuck in a rut is infuriating, and when you're there, the only thing you're gonna do is get out of it. Understandably so, no one wants to be in a rut. You just kind of like feel low, you don't want to do anything, you don't feel like getting out of bed, nothing at all. You just kind of, you don't even want to exist. And it's tough, it really is tough when you're in that position. And in a moment, it feels impossible to climb out, but it's not. It's not easy, but it is possible. Because being in a rut isn't like having no opportunities. You can still get things done. They're just a lot harder than usual. For me personally, the most effective way to get out of a rut is to do something. And I know that sounds the complete opposite, because when you're in a rut, you don't want to do anything, and I'm telling you to do something to get out of it. But I can tell you right now is that you don't need to do some sort of like monumental task. You don't need to get out there and run a 10-kilometer race. You don't need to get out and think of some sort of new fancy program. You don't need to write a whole dissertation. It could just be something dead simple. The idea is that you just do something. You give some stimulus to your brain, you get your body moving, and you do anything that's gonna make you feel even slightly accomplished. I wanna give you a simple 7-day process you can follow so you can get out of this rut and get out there and just get shit done again. I would probably say to grab a pen and paper to write this down, or at the very least, make some notes on your phone. If you're watching on a computer, then you'll definitely need a pen and paper, but you get what I'm saying. So for the first day, just focus on a small win. Any win, like whatsoever. And I'm generally mean it could be something that's just taking the bin out and just swapping out the new bag, nipping to the shop and buying a loaf of bread. And the idea is just do something so small that just gets you out of bed, out of the house, out of this frame of mind of I can't do anything. And you're probably thinking, well, day one already sounds like a load of bollocks, but that's probably because you've never tried it yourself, or maybe you've never thought about it that way. But whenever it is that you do something and it works, or you feel accomplished, how much better do you actually feel? Last time you've done something and you kind of just sat back and looked, yeah, that's decent, that's pretty good actually. Just think about it. Don't dismiss these small wins, because they stack up and they're the things that build actual real momentum into things. It's like when you look at a bodybuilder, they don't start off massive, do they? They just start off like every other guy, or skinny or fat, and then they get to this crazy shredded physique. It takes time through small wins. You don't just get there after a 1 or 2 time thing. For day number 2, we want to do the same thing, just bigger. So we stack yet another win. So just pick something, maybe something you've been putting off, or just something else around the house they can do today. And you're going to pair that with a little bit of structure. And what I want you to do is I want you to pick something, such as a wake-up time, a block of time that you dedicate to work, a block of time that you dedicate to cooking yourself something. It's the fact that now we're stacking wins and implementing some sort of structure, because I'm going to follow it, because the structure eliminates decision making, and decision making is sometimes the thing that just, well, makes you feel like shit, because there's just so much choice, there's so much to do, so much to think about. So the less choice you have on purpose, because that's what you're doing for yourself, the easier your days might be. And it actually might just make it easier just to get out of this mindset that you're in right now, where you just think you're not capable of anything. And I want you to make these absolutely non-negotiable, okay? Because sticking to a few, or even just one simple rule for like a week, 2, 3, you're gonna see differences. And I feel like the more of this kind of stuff you impose on yourself, the easier it is to stay consistent doing things. And like I've been going on about, doing things makes you feel better. For day number 3, you're never gonna guess what's coming next, and it's another win. Who would have thought? But now this win is gonna be something a little bit different. Now I want you to tackle something that's like a obligation, or something you really cannot be asked to do. I just really want you to hone in on something and you think, I don't want to do this. I cannot be asked for this. I can put it off to next week, so I will. That is the thing I'm going to need you to do. I'm going to need you to just focus in on it and just get it done. I don't care how bad it comes out. I don't care how much you don't like going to do it. You're going to do it. And I can tell you now, the weight that's going to come off your shoulders and the mental fatigue that's just going to disappear, unreal. I know it might sound a little bit daft, like a problem like that having such an impact, but it will. Especially if it's something you've been putting off for a long time now. If you just get to it, just get stuck in and just focusing on that thing today, trust me, this 3rd win is going to feel 100 times bigger than the other two combined you just did. And then after, just chill, relax, watch film, play some games, whatever. You've earned it. This is probably the most daunting day so far, so just take it easy. Don't push yourself too much. The idea is to push yourself enough, but not to a point where you're just kind of like, well, this is just overbearing, I can't do this anymore. So just have a go at that daunting thing today, okay? For day number 4, you're gonna repeat day 3 again. Why? Because today is gonna be so much easier. Yesterday was the biggest barrier. So when you kind of cross that, doing daunting things again doesn't feel as daunting. It just feels easier, maybe even normal, because you've already done the big thing. You've already done the thing you were dreading to do. Because the idea here is that we stack this momentum of doing these things we don't really want to do. But remember, I'm not giving you a list. I'm giving you one thing each day. That's all I need you to do. That's all you're gonna need to do. And I'm telling you now, after a couple more days, you're gonna keep this up. You're gonna start feeling differently. But you just have to get through these different tasks and these different things. Because if you don't, you're gonna go back into that same spot again, into that rut. So you know what? Right now, I want you to sit there and just say, I am in charge. Do it right now. I am in charge. And then stick to being in charge. Because if you just let something else take over, well, then you can no longer say that. So say, I am in charge, and then just stick with it. For day number 5, it's yet another little win. But this time around, it's a psychological one. You don't need to run any kind of errand or complete some sort of task. You're just gonna say no to other people and say yes to yourself for tonight. The idea is that you don't give access to other people at all times. Just reduce the access people have to you and of your time and of your energy. Have less conversations, give less explanations, and just do something for you for once. Because there is a chance that, you giving your time and energy to others all the time and in all these different things is the thing that's putting you in a rut, because you never focus on yourself. So that is what I want you to do for tonight. Just focus on you. Just have a self-care day, spend all evening gaming, whatever. Watch films, sit in your room in silence, go to sleep. The idea is that you just focus on you. Give yourself the time, not to other people, to you. For day number 6, just double down on the thing you struggled with the most in a week. So it could have been day 2, it could have been day 5. Whatever it is that you found the most difficult, do it again. Just have another go. Maybe it'll go a little bit better this time. Maybe it'll be a little bit smoother. The idea is that you just double down on these things you didn't particularly enjoy. And I know normally we kind of follow the path of least resistance and just do the things we want to do. But by actively doing things we should be doing, but we choose to avoid them, that's how we build this mental resilience to avoid the rut in the first place. Because don't get me wrong, do I have low days? Of course I do. But they are so far and few in between because I am consistently doing difficult things and pushing myself. I do believe that the easier you make things for yourself, the harder things are. So focus on something difficult, something you didn't particularly enjoy or didn't particularly want to do. Because another idea of today, which is day 6, is that maybe you fucked up on day 2. Maybe it didn't really go that well because you hated it so much. Maybe day 4 was an absolute nightmare and halfway through you just kind of backed out. Well then, the idea is that you can mess up, but you can just try again. It's not a problem. The world is still spinning, so just have another go. Then day 7, the last day, just review. What went well? What went shit? What was, alright? Just write these down. Ask yourself these questions. Kind of literally just do a review of the week. Because then going forward, you can focus on these things. Because everybody's going to have things they are better and worse at than other people. And then vice versa. So the things that you're good at, still obviously continue to do them. Otherwise, you're not going to be as good anymore. But put a bigger emphasis on the things you're bad at. Because those are the things that's going to give you the biggest mental challenge. And more than likely, going to give you the most grief in the long run. If you just kind of let them be there. Because problems swept off to the side don't disappear. They wait, they sit, and they will eventually just come back and bite you in the arse. Whether you like it or not, they have to be dealt with. So just review what went well, what went bad. And that's the idea. That's the 7-day thing. Personally, I feel like some people won't even need the full week. I genuinely do believe that. But just carry it out. Day 1 to up to 7, however many you need, and just see how you get on. See what happens. If you genuinely do need more time, just repeat the week again. Because maybe you think you need more time, but you're actually smashing it. You just haven't realized it yourself. So if you just want to keep on repeating the week over and over again, that's fine. It's just going to mean you're going to get more done. And you're going to be out of this rut without even realizing it. So stop thinking and start doing, explain less and just get to it, man. No fancy vision boards, no motivational speeches, just work. Just a change of mindset and just getting it done. 7 days is more than enough to prove that to yourself.